Hello, welcome to another episode of Sunday Sessions, where we're coming live from various different places this week. So it should be interesting to see how things work out. Hopefully, we've got no technical issues. I can see Natasha is here on YouTube already. Good afternoon, good evening, Natasha. Hopefully, you are well. This week, as with every week, you'll notice I'm in a slightly different area. I'm upstairs in the office this week, because I was doing another stream earlier, and I really did not have time to turn things around, so I decided to do it from here as well. So hopefully you're all well. I'm looking at a really weird angle, so hopefully you're all good and well. So yes, as usual, please do not take part in this if you're currently seeing the doctor for any serious medical or mental condition, because we will be using the power of your imagination to enable you to feel good. Natasha Sandler says all is good. Fantastic, Natasha. It's great to see you and have you on stream as well. So, yes, as usual, what we're going to do is we're going to do some imagination stuff, some stuff with your mindset, and make you feel good. And the purpose of this is to kind of help you let go of the stresses of the week and start the new week fresh, your mind clear, you are focused, ready to take on the week. Love the picture. Yes, that's Vesuvius Man. So the Vitruvian Mannequin. A good friend of mine, Jason, got me this from an artist in London a few years ago as well. And do you know what? I love it because the image itself is about symbolizing a person kind of rebuilding, remodeling themselves. So I did think it was quite apt and quite appropriate. And this is what this show is about kind of mindset and stuff like that as well. So, as usual, make yourself as comfortable as you possibly can. Close your eyes and listen to the sound of my voice. We'll be talking about using your imagination and about the power of hypnosis, the power of your mind to achieve your goals. And as usual, we'll put up our little countdown timer in the bottom there. Let's feel good in. And there we go. We put that time up there, so you can have 30 minutes of this is you time. This is time when you can spend with yourself to just relax and let go, about using the power of your mind to just focus and relax. And it's so interesting to learn about the power of your unconscious, how important hypnosis, mindset, imagination, focus, all of these words. It's so important to understand that they're all just you. That little voice inside your head, those images you make inside your head, it's all about you. So you should just close your eyes and just relax for a few moments. And during that process, we can just talk about the power of your mind, the power of your imagination, and how you can just relax and let go. You can allow all the stress and tension of the days and weeks gone by to drain away. And this is what we do. We spend our days focusing on the negative things around us. What did that person mean when they said that? What does that text really mean? What did that email, what were they trying to say in that? And we try and interpret all these things, and we sometimes allow our fears and insecurities to bubble up. And this alters our perception of the reality. And we overlay that false reality on top of the true image. So we can't be objective to it. And we then think that other people think bad things about us or our intentions, whether this be friendships, whether this be work environments. And we allow that negative filter. So then we can only see the bad in other people or what we think that they're plotting. But this is about focusing on the good. This is about wiping that slate clean, clearing that filter. So you've got no real filter happening, so that if somebody just says K in a message, then it just means K. It doesn't mean anything else. I want you to just really relax your mind now. Allow yourself to go to a place where you're comfortable inside with who you are. I want you to imagine what that feels like. Because here's the amazing thing with our imagination. We imagine things in our mind, but by doing so, we are hypnotizing ourselves. We are reprogramming our minds of who we think we are and who we think other people are. But we allow this to happen all by itself, unconsciously. But imagine being able to harness that power now to change that image in your mind. If you see yourself as the type of person that's flustered, that's overwhelmed, that's overworked, that's behind and playing catch up, if you imagine yourself to be that type of person, then you are programming your unconscious mind to look out for things that reinforce that. Our unconscious mind then, following that blueprint, sets obstacles and challenges in our way that reinforce that belief system. And when we come through those challenges and we manage to get it done at the last minute, despite the stress or pulling an all-nighter, we then program our mind that we're one of those people, that we can just get it done, that we can keep putting it off. And when sometimes what we really need to do, when we know we have a task to do, is to stop, clear our minds, get into that zone, and tick off that list. I think the old saying is the easiest way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. And this is the same with any task that we have to do, any responsibilities that we're putting off, some of the things that we don't like to do. It's easy to distract ourselves in this moment now. But the reality is we know that that's going to cause us stress further down the line. So I want you to just imagine now. Imagine if you could just change that one thing. Imagine if you could just switch on clarity so that your mind is focused, so that your mind is clear. You don't need to think about 100 things at once. You don't need to think about every situation that could happen. You don't need to think. Just feel right now. You can allow yourself the time to accommodate any challenges that happen, so that you know that you can set yourself a task. You can set aside a space in order to work on that task, both a physical space and a mental space. Put it in your diary. Write it on a post-it note and put it on the wall. This task, this many minutes. Don't allow any distractions. Don't allow any false emergencies to disturb you during that time. And you can then prepare. And this then means that when your deadline's approaching, when the task should have been done, you can do it in bite-sized chunks. So it's just easy. It's easy to just do it. And by doing that, your mind is more focused. Your thought process is clearer because you are setting aside those boxes of time for that task and that task alone. So you find that you can think clearly. And here's the thing. Sometimes finding the energy, the effort to take your mind and quieten down all the distractions, all the noise, all the things that are trying to stop you from achieving that goal. Focus. Know yourself and your abilities, and know that you've got this. Know that you can achieve anything you set your mind to do. But you have to believe in yourself, and you have to be disciplined with yourself. Because if you can achieve these things under the pressure, imagine what you could achieve if you organized your time and gave yourself more time to think, more time to really dig deep on that particular focus of attention. And here's the thing, just like meditation, when you focus your mind, you need to train your mind that when you're in this zone, when you're in this mindset, this is my creative mindset. This is when I think of new ideas to develop my business, my personal life, or whatever it may be. When you're in your creative mindset, you have to just be in that mindset. But then when the time is done for you to be in a more structured mindset, such as a logical space, then again, train your mind to be in that logical space so that you can do the tasks that need doing, to tick them off. Because by ticking off these tasks that aren't as much fun as the creative tasks, but what that does is that frees those disturbances, that frees that muddling, the cloudiness, the mugginess in your mind. So when you need to be creative to solve a problem in a creative way, all that busyness has been taken away by ticking off the need to do jobs first. It makes it easy for you to focus on the want to do jobs. And this then feeds your mind and feeds your soul so you feel really good. And this helps you be more present in this moment now. As you focus on that, imagine what that would look like to you. Imagine how your body language would be different if your mind was clear. If your mind was focused and clear, how would you act differently? How would you dress differently? How would you structure your day differently? Because you have to think of what patterns, what habits does your future self have? And if you see yourself in your future, where you've achieved your goals, what's different? What patterns, what rituals do you do? Because by having those small rituals, those structure, it enables you to reach those goals easier. And it's all about trying to make life easier for ourselves. Because by tweaking and changing this image in here that we have about who we are, then we're tweaking and changing about what's possible for us. And by making those small tweaks and changes, by training your mind every day to seeing yourself being the person you want to be, doing the things you want to do, then it makes it easy for you to set in place now those rituals. Because if you do it now, if you start now, then what's amazing is in a month's time, 6 months' time, you're already part of the way there. Those rituals have already embedded themselves into your unconscious mind. And by doing so, they make it easier for you to achieve that goal. Because that's what you want to do. You want to set aside your unconscious mind to effectively hypnotize yourself so that when you wake up in the morning, you're already thinking of how you can be more efficient, more productive. When you realize you're doing something, your unconscious mind can get into the habit of asking yourself, is this a step towards my future goal? Or is this a step backwards? Is this pulling my future self forward? Or is this my old negative self pulling me back? Is this helping me? Or is this just a distraction? And you can focus your mind right down into your unconscious mind. Because when your unconscious mind creates that image, and your conscious mind sees that image, and the actions that you do every day all reinforce that image. And what do I mean by that? I mean, if you make the image in your mind of you as a runner, but then when you wake up in the morning, you don't run, then it doesn't match. It doesn't correlate. So it has a negative effect. But if you see in your mind's eye that you're a runner and your physical actions, such as running, drinking more water, eating healthier, when you do the things that runners do, eventually you will see yourself as a runner. And this is the same with most things. We all know people that just seem lucky. Well, that's because they have opportunity and preparedness and a belief on some level that they can achieve that goal. If you see yourself as being a person who is lucky, then you will see the opportunities around you and you'll become a person who is lucky. And this has the same on the flip side. On the negative, if you see yourself as being unlucky, if you see yourself as being the person that will trip up or fall or fail, then your unconscious mind sees that and looks for those things that validate that belief system. Because when your belief system comes into play, nothing can stop you from achieving your goals. Because when your mind is clear and focused, you know that achieving your goals is not only possible, it's inevitable. We live in an age now where an actor has just gone into space. When I was young, literally it was the best of athletes and top people could become astronauts. Now, effectively, if you wanted to, anybody can. And in a short space of time, people will be going to space on holiday, which sounds ridiculous, but this is possible. Because one man thought that he wanted to make that possible and has made it possible. And if that one man can achieve that, then if your goal is to just be more focused, feel better about yourself, if your goal is to just be 5% more productive, in fact, you know what? If your goal is to just be 1% more productive every day, if you just take 1% towards your goal every day, that has a compounding effect. And at the end of the year, that's 365% better from where you started. And here's the thing, a lot of this stuff and a lot of the stuff in the hypnotherapy books and the mindset books and the habit books, they're all about Believing in yourself, in your abilities. Don't let the mugginess in your head hold you back, because that's what it is. It's just a distraction. Anytime you find that, you can just take a seat, take a big, deep breath, and as you exhale, just imagine all of that fog just disappearing. Visualize it leaving your nostrils and coming out and then dissipating throughout the room. And once your mind is clear, focus on the task at hand. And remember to take time out for yourself. If your mind is solely focused on work for 8 hours a day, you will burn yourself out. Take those bite-sized chunks. Look at the task in hand that you've got to do. Give your head a shake. Let that fog clear and then work. But then stop. Because you give yourself time, you're not under the pressure of that deadline. You can then stop, take a break, do something different with your mind, do something creative, and then come back to it later in those small bite-sized chunks. And it's difficult when we think we're under a deadline, when we're under pressure. We knuckle down and pull all-nighters or work ridiculous hours in order to achieve the goal. But in doing so, our mind is muggled. And if we're close to a deadline and we're running behind and we've procrastinated, not only is our head muggled, but any challenges that happen, any speed bumps that happen, any emergencies that happen, only compound that amount of pressure. Whereas if you know you've taken those bite-sized chunks, you know that if a distraction happens, it happens, and you can come back to where you are and continue on focused. It's about taking the time to do the work, but also taking the time for yourself, a time for you to recharge your batteries, a time for you to recharge both physically and emotionally, so that when you go to bed on a night time, you're ready to go to sleep. You create sleeping habits, rituals you do before you go to bed. Now, this can be a difficult one to start, but it pays dividends because we learn when we sleep. We recharge when we're rested. But take the time to go, no phones or electrical items at this time. Take the time to just relax, cleanse, and then sleep. And once you get into that habit, you'll find it's more positive for your mindset. It's more positive for your physical well-being. Because if you want to achieve great things, you can't do it if you're running on empty. And if you're running on empty, this has a negative effect on your mindset. The chemicals that your body releases in your brain are not congruent with a growth mindset. They're congruent with exhaustion and overwhelm. And then your body finds a way of slowing you down. The most important thing you can do in your mind right now is to make yourself a priority. Set aside time for work. Set aside time for development. Set aside time for you. No matter what other things are going on in your life, with your family, that time for you is the most important, because you can't help other people if you are not fully recharged. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And we take our time, our personal time that we could recharge, and that's what we cut into when other people have emergencies to take away from our time. We have to get into the ritual of being strict with ourselves. Because by doing so, you'll do more and it will be easier. You'll be able to sit down, and when you start to write, you just get into the flow. When you start to paint or draw or do whatever it is you want to do, you'll just get into your flow. And the work somehow just seems so much easier because you're allowing that unconscious and conscious connection to just come straight through. When you're exhausted, you're having to work through all the thought patterns. So stop thinking about it and take time for yourself. Allow yourself to just relax. Allow yourself to feed yourself positive things, thoughts, feelings, food, drink. Put goodness in. Feed yourself with positive things, and this will create positive actions. Believe in yourself, because trust me, you can do it. Don't allow your circle or people around you or old mindsets to hold you back, because otherwise you'll get to a stage in your life when you look back and go, I wish I would have. Now is the time to really take that time and give yourself the chance, the opportunity to, do you know what? If you can do this, if you can come through all the things that you've come through to get to where you are now, then imagine what's possible for you when you change that mindset, when you really give yourself 100%. Imagine what would be possible then. Having that mindset, taking that time to focus your mind, to dedicate it to yourself, is really going to be the biggest thing and the best thing that you can do for you. And this applies to anything, whether it be in your work life, in your personal life, in your business journey, whatever it is. Get that mindset right. Get that blueprint in your mind crystal clear. See your future self. What do they do? What do they drive? What do they wear? What do they read? What are their habits? What brings them joy? And how can I take a step towards that? Make sure your blueprint, your mind's eye, make sure your actions are all focused in the same direction. There's no point thinking positive things and doing negative things. Think, feel, do. Just allow your unconscious mind to take on board any suggestions that are relevant for you. And anything that's not relevant, you can just dismiss. Drop to the wayside. It does not matter. What matters is about you taking the time to invest in yourself. Reading good books, audio books, stepping out of your comfort zone and giving yourself rewards. That's right. And just allow yourself to relax down even deeper. In a moment, I'm going to count from 1 all the way up to 5. On the count of 5, you can open your eyes, feeling fine and refreshed. 1 and 2, lighter and brighter in every way, shape and form. 1, 2, 3, feeling good. Allowing those arms and muscles to stretch and relax. And just by taking this time to focus and use your imagination, you can imagine yourself becoming lighter and brighter. And imagine what it'd be like if you had a wonderful night's sleep tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes, feel good. Listening to me waffle on once again on a Sunday. And these Sunday sessions are about, giving value, changing that mindset, shaking off the stresses of the week, and starting the new week afresh. No stress, no tension, just the desire to feel good. Speaking of feeling good, let's have a look what we've got here. I've got it here somewhere. It's not that one. Let me go back. I should be more organized sometimes. It's not that. Is it that one? It's that one. There we go. I'll put up a little link here for you. Oh, thank you very much. It's always nice to hear you guys enjoying it. If you do, there's a link there to some really good hypnosis and mindset books there as well. And it's my Amazon affiliates, so it does help me out. So yeah, you can click any of the books in the carousel or in the comment section. Yes, so guys, hopefully you guys are all well. Every Sunday, right here, 7:30 on the Sunday sessions. It's about you guys feeling good. Natasha Stanley says, thank you. There we go. Natasha Stanley is a fantastic example of a positive mindset, such a great energy and such a hard worker as well. So yeah, fantastic, guys. And please do share the love if you know someone that would benefit from these. There is the Facebook group of the Sunday sessions. And yeah, it's as usual as well. If you want to direct message me with any requests, as long as you get them to me before 7 o'clock on Sunday, we can incorporate that into the show. So guys, that's it for me this week. We have 50 seconds left on the clock. It's always nice to manage to do this in 30 minutes. So that is absolutely fantastic. Hopefully you guys are well. I shall see you next Sunday. Next Sunday is going to be a tight one for me again because I'm in a quarry in Wales. When we talk about stepping outside of the comfort zone, I'm live streaming a 4x4 off-roading event in a quarry in Wales. So hopefully I should be back in time. Maybe it might be 8 o'clock next week. Who knows? So for me, thank you very much for joining me this week. Hopefully you guys enjoy it as well. Take care, and I shall see you next week.